Hello and welcome to the Homeless Consultant channel. My name is Paul B. I am the Homeless Consultant. And since I'm winding this channel down, I need to create some odds and ends video because the purpose of this channel is to document what happened to me, and that's what I'm going to do. Forgive my disheveled look here, but it's very cold and hard to take care of yourself. It's a shame you can't smell me. I smell nice and fresh at least, because a big huge bottle of shampoo broke on my seat and all over my floor, and I've just been cleaning that up. What I want to talk about today is something that I alluded to in a couple other videos. It needs to be documented. This is one of the reasons why I have to wear dog tags. I have to wear dog tags so that when they find my body, which is obviously what's going to happen since nobody will help, they'll know who I am and what happened to me. What I'm talking about is the blood loss that I have alluded to here. I have sat in this car now for, what, 1,500 days? I mean, well, this is my 5th year. When I'm not at work, where I sit in a chair in an office, when I'm not at work, I sit here. I can't leave here because this car is my entire existence. I can't leave it undefended for even one moment, except in a situation where I have to go to somewhere like work. I can't leave the things in it undefended. I have to sit in this car all the time. I can't enjoy going shopping or going into the library to read books or something. So for 5 years I have sat in this car. I have slept in this car. There's nothing else I can do. If I lose this car, I am dead, because I will be outside with no job. One of the consequences of that is that you don't get any exercise. So for 5 years I have had 0 exercise. Now you might have seen some videos of me showing my full body. Got a belly here. I don't drink beer. I don't drink alcohol. Where'd the belly come from? Where did the belly come from on a person who grew up with the nickname the skeleton? Where did that come from? It came from sitting in a car for 5 years, primarily. I cannot exercise. I cannot go anywhere to exercise. I have to leave this car if I do that. And then I'm leaving everything I have to sustain my life undefended. I can't do that. So there's there's many consequences of that. One of them is I have completely lost all breath control. Almost 24 hours a day, my diaphragm is compressed sitting in this car or sitting in the chair at work. You heard it in the vaping video. You could hear I was so angry that the anti-smokers were doing what they're doing again to yet another group. And then I'm pacing the floor furiously as I'm talking into this headset. When I was in the hotel, I was completely out of breath. Okay, I can't sing anymore. I can't sing anymore. My voice is, the vocal cords are actually damaged. I try to sing, but I can't. I don't have a voice, and I never will again. It's gone. But I have no breath control at all. My diaphragm's been compressed for 5 years. But the other thing is that as you sit in this chair, which was not meant to be something you sit in for your entire life, it was meant to drive you from here to there, it cuts off my blood circulation, so I have no circulation. That means my fingers, even when it's not all that cold outside, 50 degrees, my fingers will turn white and blue. They'll just get freezing cold. But especially down in my legs, my upper thighs in particular, my upper thighs all the way up to my groin area, I get blood clots and blood blisters. And I don't even mean that I get them, I mean that I have them constantly. I've had them for years now. I was probably in the car for I don't know how long, a year when that started. So I have these huge blood blisters, and I mean big. I mean when you bust these things open, it will fill a good portion of a plastic cup with blood. And this happens every single day. So what I want to point out is that not only do I go through several pair of underwear every week, I have to replace underwear every single week because they're always bloody. They're always filled with blood. But when these blood blisters break, they gets blood all over my car, gets blood all over wherever I am. I have been at work sitting in my chair and I stand up to go to the bathroom or whatever, and blood's just pouring down my leg. Happens all the time. Every week I have to buy several boxes of these things, these bandages, to try to prevent that. Every week. as a consequence of living in this car. But as I've said in recent videos, nobody cares about that, do they? Nobody's helped me. So I'm going to show you some images of the blood loss that I suffer. Each one of these basically is one bout of one of these blisters busting on me, which happens almost daily, just continuously. To fix a blood blister, you need exposure to air, which I don't have. I'm stuck in a car, I'm stuck sitting down here. I don't have a home where I can walk around naked. Remember, it's my upper thigh and my groin where these blood clots and blood blisters are. I don't have any way to expose them to air, which is the one thing you're supposed to do for a blood blister. The other thing you're supposed to do is not have any irritation, have nothing rubbing against them. Well, guess what? I'm wearing clothes all the time. And in fact, when you've got a state I live in that 9 months of brutal cold, I'm often wearing several pairs of underwear, several pair of pants, thermals, which all get blood soaked, and I have to replace them constantly. So I can't heal normally, I just have to put up with it, and it gets worse and worse and worse. It has completely ruined my skin down there. They're just all, it looks like I had third-degree burns, the way that those things pop and then they grow back, and I'm just completely scarred, my whole upper thighs. That will last forever. It could have been prevented if anyone in the state of Minnesota had ever just helped me when I asked for help, but they never did. Anyway, I'm just winding down this channel. One last thing I want to say about this. You know, there's a lot of weird fetishes out there. There's amputee fetishes where people, if you've lost an arm or a leg or a couple arms or a couple legs or both your arms and both your legs, and you have trouble making money because you don't have any arms or legs, one thing you can do to make money is to make videos and take photos of yourself and put them on the internet on these porn sites, because people will pay a lot of money to look at those photos and videos because they have a sexual fetish for that kind of thing. Sadism. People who get beat up, they get bitten, they get cut, they're tortured. People get off on that kind of thing. Put videos of that online, someone will pay you a lot of money so they can watch that. Anorexia, these poor girls who think that they're too fat when they're basically a skeleton with skin on it. They can go online and they can post photos of their skeletized bodies with these little flaps of skin hanging on it, and people will pay them money to look at those videos. And they make better profit than anyone else because they don't have to spend that money on food, do they? What about abortion? If you're a fan of Paul Joseph Watson, one of his recent videos showed how there's people out there who have an abortion fetish. You get two of those together, and what do? They impregnate the woman as often as they possibly can, and over the years she can get pregnant a dozen, 20 times, and then they get a sexual thrill out of killing the baby. That's what turns them on. But hey, Paul, they're not making money off that, are they? Well, you're right, they're really not. But guess who is? Planned Parenthood. One of the sickest organizations that has ever existed in this world. While they laugh about it and they're in there with their tweezers ripping these little fetuses, these babies apart, they laugh about it and they sell those body parts and they make billions of dollars off of it. So it's pretty easy to make money when you want to share your suffering with someone else. There's always someone out there who will pay you money for your suffering. My point being that if I wanted to, I could probably make videos and photographs of all this blood loss that I have, all the suffering that I have. I could probably put them on a porn site, and you know what? The people who get off on that kind of thing would provide me with enough money to end my homelessness. These are the bad people in the world. These are the degenerates. These are the sick and twisted degenerates. But the good and decent people, my landlord, a professional, the police in the former town I was in, the city council, every Minnesota agency up to Governor Mark Dayton's office, Attorney General Lori Swanson, all of these attorneys in Minnesota, all of these churches in Minnesota, all these people I've gone to for 5 years to help me end my homelessness, and they have done nothing. And they refuse to do anything. Those are good and decent, wonderful pillars of society. In case that didn't make any sense to you, let me just go through it one more time. The bad people in the world are the ones who will give me money when they see me suffering, whether it's to help me end my suffering or because they get off on it. But either way, I would get money and my suffering would end. The good people in this world do absolutely nothing. They just watch videos like this and enjoy my suffering, and I get no money at all. I get no help. I get nothing. Do you get it now? That's today's lesson. Thank you for watching.
Do you think that you could ever find a place high above the maddening race? Build a nest and call it